I
mean, screw it. Yeah, we'll at least grab the audio.
It's recording now.
Oh, I took a picture by mistake. Like an old man. Yeah,
Guys taking pictures.
That's fine. I felt super old. I went on to Google how to record a conversation. It was like hit the menu button and hit record.
I was gonna download a third-party software and just screen record whatever we had going on.
I was gonna put my phone on a tripod and just record the screen.
Oh shit! Is this recording the audio or this is recording? I think it's recording everything. Who cares?
It's probably recording here. You could turn it into audio later.
Yeah. I guess we'll start off by introducing ourselves real quick. Just get that out of the way.
But obviously you have to start since you.
Oh shit! All right.
Uppity and,
I'm leaving.
I mean,
all of this is staying in the.
yeah. No. But all right, so it'll.
What happened?
Nothing. I was in my fridge. Never mind.
Okay, in the fridge in the middle of the record. Got it.
Mm.
Yeah, no. So just a quick heads up, or just quick disclaimer or explanation. Our channel goes by the name of Comic Book Gangsters. We're four guys who went to school and was actually one of us was our what would you even like?
Mentor?
Yeah, he's our sensei.
All right.
He's our sensei. We only refer to him as the Ortega, like nothing else. But
I'm not sure my first name even matters at this point in my life.
Nah, definitely not.
Absolutely not. First name is Mr. Last name. But just background. Name Abdul. I read a bunch of comics, manga, shit like that. For the nature of the channel, we want to talk about comic books. We want to talk about stories that's going on in just modern times, I guess, or what's ever happening daily. Movie reviews, shit like that. Pretty chill channel. It's gonna be pretty relaxed. We'll try and roughly update maybe once or twice a week. Put out bits and pieces of the podcast. But other than that, that's pretty much it. Comic books, movie reviews, talking and shit, shooting and shit, video games.
I think you got it. That's it.
Just I'll let the rest of the guys introduce themselves.
That's a good gist of everything. All right, well, I guess I might as well go next because I got a pretty big introduction there. All right, so I guess if first names matter, David Ortega here, checking in. Youth mentor, youth advocate. I do a lot. Ran a group while these guys were in school we called it the comic book group. So CBG, keeping the theme going. And I use that group a lot to use comic books to talk about, real world experiences, real life feelings. A lot of things that happen in real world get touched upon in comics a lot. So it's a really good way to cope with a lot of different things. That being said, I've been reading comic books since, I don't know, I think 10 or 11 years old. I picked up my first comic. Pretty positive it was an X-Men comic book. I got turned into comics from the animated series. My first full story run, I'll never forget that, was Blackest Night, Green Lantern. Amazing story. Great story to even get into comics just because you get a whole lore of the DC universe inside of this crazy story. And ever since just love comic books. And then as soon as I started working with young people, especially in the high school level, wanted to start using comic books to help people kind of get through life. And hopefully we can bring a little bit of that into this podcast, but for the most part, we'll just be shooting the shit here.
Yeah.
All right, gentle mice, you guys have waited long enough. Now, Shaquille Brown.
So that's
I am here.
Jump in here real quick.
I'm gonna cut off everybody. Ortega, but seriously, I'm Shaquille. I was mostly into anime growing up, watching it for a long time. It's going to be a simple part of our podcast here as well. Watching it since about 3 years old. It's one of the earliest memories I have from when I was in Jamaica. I mean, it's pretty much been a part of my life ever since then. I got into comics sort of in high school after I met Abdul and them, and I got into the groups and stuff. And I mean, it's an immersive world. You really can't fight it. Once you start, you kind of got to keep going. I think it was an amazing idea, Ortega, to kind of incorporate it to help people through their lives because it's definitely relatable. Right now, I'm just trying to dive deeper into that. For the most part, I'm gonna stick heavy to what I know. I'm here to absorb. I mean, I'm here to share. You know, I can't wait to get everything started.
All right.
All right, now, so back to my question before. I still remember it too. I was just thank God, because I actually have a terrible memory. What is like the main like story going on right now? There's so many timelines.
If you're gonna ask me about the main story in DC Universe, I'm gonna be honest with you, man. There's like 7.
That main continuity, yo, that main continuity is for sure in quotations, because I have no idea when anything happens during any given time.
Like for example, right now, like I was talking about Ortega not too long ago. We're talking about in DC they have the Doomsday Clock story that just happened. They have the Doomsday or the Doom War. They have
the Justice Doom War, which ended ever so abruptly, and then the issue immediately following started a brand new story, and I don't know where we are.
No idea. Also, don't forget that
Eradicators show up.
We have Justice League Odyssey happening too. We have like what's weird is that the Doom War ended abruptly with a big L. Like they lost. They took an L. All the heroes,
which was honestly the only way that could end. They weren't gonna win that.
They were fighting the woman that created everything. So I was like, all right. I mean, I guess. What do we do here? How do we beat Mom? Yeah, they were hoping that she swung the belt and they'd finally catch it. Nah, they got clapped up.
Created everything.
The crazy thing that I didn't understand about a lot of that, the Justice Doom War, the timeline for it was like you mentioned, all the other Justice Leagues, right? I stopped reading Odyssey a couple of issues in, lost interest, but I'm still reading Justice League Dark. I thought it's been a really good, fun ride. But it's confusing when you see like Wonder Woman is like over here being taken over by an ancient magical witch being, and
that's apparently her mom.
Yeah, that's apparently her mom. But then in like regular Justice League, she's just getting whooped around in the background.
by fucking Martian Manhunter, perfect human Lex Luthor, who's also simultaneously fighting.
Wait, what?
He ate Martian Manhunter. Like,
oh no, but he spit him back out and ate his son.
Yeah. Yes. He spit him back out, and he ate his other dimension son.
Oh yeah, his son, who technically doesn't exist, but they brought over from the 6th dimension that they visited real quick while trying to solve this problem.
I wish you guys could see my.
He's like, "What's up, pops?" He's like, "Hey,
I wish you guys could see my pyramid of contemplation right now, because that is wild. You guys are just spewing exposition.
I think this is also why it's good that we record this and then like go over it, because I feel like we say a lot without explaining anything.
That is like, you guys is like, but like he took over his body. He might spit, but it's all right because he. Like,
not even took over his body.
No, he didn't take over his body. He ate him.
Basically, here's what happened. Lex Luthor found out that Perpetua, the mother who created all of the multiverse or whatever, her original plan was to have the Martians and the humans eventually find each other, come together, and make the ultimate being. These ultimate beings are basically like the apex predators of the universe, and they were supposed to help her bring this multiverse to, I guess, the Sea of Judgment, where we would then go up against the other multiverses and win.
Let me just pause you for a second too. I don't know how the Lex Luthor, or the human Martian Manhunter Apex thing is going to be an Apex when Kryptonians exist. Like they were like, I don't like, they're just so much better than everything else. And
when they're not on their planet.
I don't know.
When they're on their planet, aren't they just regular guys?
All you need to make a Kryptonian the best is a little bit of sun.
And this is okay. So that's what I'm gonna say. I'm gonna disagree with you up to an extent. I'm gonna say that, like, that whole human Martian hybrid could be Apex, like, because Martian Manhunter has been shown to be stronger, like physically stronger than Superman. But you're right. Like, if Superman decides, like, let's go have this fight elsewhere, and tricks them into flying to a planet that has like 4 yellow suns, they're fucked.
They're fucked. or even if you don't even, like, say you snuff out all the Kryptonians, you still have the Daxamites, which are literally just Kryptonians, but they're just affected by lead. It's like,
That's
it's like
Daxamites.
These people
sounds like
exist.
something you'd find in Minecraft.
these people exist out in the world, and she's like, oh yeah, you know, I created like
I'm
where
ready
is the
for
ceiling?
Daxamite stories, man.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm
That's
so down with
interesting.
Kryptonians.
I'm
Yo,
ready for whatever Rogar Zal was. Whatever
the
he was, I'm ready
yeah.
for him. Him and his
Yo,
people.
the last like 4 years of comics have made the Kryptonians just really sound like the white supremacists of the galaxy.
Absolutely. They've been getting, but they've
Excuse
also
me?
been getting like clapped up
Yeah,
by like
Have
the
they
well,
been
that's
trying to purge? What's good?
well, that's kind of what happened with the Daxamites. Daxamites they used to be Kryptonians until like the elite Kryptonians were like, nah, you're too poor to be on our planets. Get off.
Oh my! All right.
Yeah, and they send them to
All
another
right.
planet, and that's why the
Alright.
Daxamites hate visitors. Like
Yeah.
the for example, Icon. You know, he's the black superhero. He no, my fault, not Icon. Sodom Yacht. Sorry, my fault. Sodom Yacht. He's Daxamite. He's on his planet, and a Green Lantern fucking crashed down, and he became friends with him in like a cave. They're like, "Oh, you know, shoot the shit, man. You know, it's real cool, man, that you're from outer space. You know, I didn't never seen some shit like that before." He's like, "Yeah, man, I'm dying though. Like, help me out." He's like, "All right, you know, but I can't take you to my people because they just hate outsiders. You know, it's nothing weird, but like they just don't like it." He's like, "All right, but no, it's cool." So some of his people, you know, followed him up one day. He was like, "Hey, you know, where the fuck is Sodom going?" And they followed him, saw him in the cave talking to something that wasn't them, and they killed him.
With the Green Lantern?
They murdered the Green Lantern. His fucking ring flew away. I back up to the Green Lantern. Green Lantern 726 is now deceased. And I was like,
hold up,
I hate
time
this
out.
place.
Time out. Not to interrupt, but you just brought something up that reminded me of a question that I've had. Because maybe they've addressed it and I missed it somewhere, but help me out here. Didn't at some point they start to talk about and like start to question about where the hell the Green Lantern of that sector was when Krypton was blowing the fuck up?
I'm almost positive that Green Lantern was Abin Sur. And then he had like I think this is pre like New 52 and pre whatchamacallit, but they were like, oh, you know, he had like a vision or something and then fucking left or something. It's something stupid.
I know they like when they were doing the whole before we found out that it was Kal-El's dad, Jor-El, in the whole cloak thing. Remember when he kidnapped Tim Drake and all that? What were we calling him?
Yeah. Side note, dude, that guy's crazy. Like something's wrong with him.
Jor-El, yeah, Jor-El's. All right, we can talk about Jor-El in a second, but during that whole escapade, right?
Mm-hmm.
During that whole escapade, wasn't like I think it was Hal Jordan and Jon Stewart who were like in the library of the Green Lanterns, and they're like, oh, like something was changed here. and then like that's it. They never mentioned it again. They're like, oh, someone changed the history here, and then that was it. We never found out what happened to the Green Lantern of that sector. We don't like
because somebody fucking ate him probably. Yeah, I'm almost convinced he probably landed on a planet. You know, he looked right, probably tried to help somebody, and they just ate him. They just said fuck it. You know, it just. Or like they like bit his finger off and like now he's just running around looking for his ring and his finger. It's just like
just in someone's stomach. Just
he's just like, oh, this sucks. Every bit of this sucks. You know. Yeah, no, they're just doing not smart things.
I just want you guys to know, quick, just side note.
Mm-hmm.
I want you guys to remember this is how convoluted and just somewhat over the top comics are. That's what everyone. My original question was, what is the continuity? And this is where we landed. That just goes to show you where the continuity
there was a lot
is
going on.
There's like
7
different stories.
And
like,
then, yeah, no, it
like
seems like a lot.
I personally still don't know what the hell happened to Roger Zoll. Like,
and I want to know how we see General Zod, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he's all like, that's it. This is my new home. We're gonna build new Krypton here. We're gonna, he's like, I've
been fighting Superman for so long. Let me be a nice guy. He's like, let's join hands.
And then the next time we see him, he's like on the hunt to become the new Ra's al Ghul and shit. Like, what the hell?
The next time we see him, Ra's al Ghul is in the pit, and he's like, yeah, I need this. He's like, it's not yours. Like, it's not yours. It's my pit. You can't have it.
I honestly believe that this is nothing more than a roundabout way to give us that whole like what if Superman like went against Ra's al Ghul?
Yes.
Is it
Which
Zod's
doesn't
time?
make any sense because it's not like Ra's al Ghul's like got like superhuman strength. Like he has like heightened abilities and shit like that.
Yeah,
But
he can just keep dipping in his like water. That's the only thing he's got.
Yeah, he's like just a dude. You know, he's a caveman that lived really long. You know, and he's
right. Oh, you know what? Hold up, time out. Let's talk about one of the real big things that just happened in DC Comics, right? And Shaq, I'd love to hear your perspective on this because I'm not even sure if you would know about this. But in the longest time forever, for his entire inception, right? The whole point of it's iconic, right? Superman with the glasses, a secret identity. He's Clark Kent. How would you feel to know that this dude just came out to the world and said, "Yeah, I'm Superman and Clark Kent"?
Wait, he just revealed himself to?
Yeah. He had a press conference to let everybody know.
Oh,
not only did he have a press conference to let everybody know who he was, but he also let them know that he's going to continue working as a journalist as Clark Kent.
Oh, that's all right. That's clownish. That is clownish.
It's literally no point.
That's like wearing androgynous clothing. And people try to question you. What are you gonna do? I'm a 6'8" MMA fighter. You gonna stop me? Who's gonna stop me from being Clark Kent? I think that's funny. I forgot who said it in a video. I want to give the credit here. I think it might have been one of the YouTubers I watched named Seth the Programmer. I think it might have been him. He does a lot of anime stuff, a lot of Naruto stuff. But I think he did a Superman versus Goku battle. That's besides the point. But I think he said something like, it must have been him. Something like he finds it interesting how everyone, like every superhero, pretends to be every superhero has like a secret identity, right? And they dress up to be the superhero, and they're really just, for the exception of Bruce Wayne, because I truly think he thinks he's Batman. But other than that, everyone else has
Bruce Wayne is the mask.
Yeah, so other than him, the weirdo, the psychopath, everyone else sort of has like their superhero, but Superman's always been Superman. He's Kal-El. He's Kryptonian, and Clark Kent has always been his mask. Like he's always tried to pretend to be this goofy, four-eyed, kind of run-of-the-mill, clump, just somebody you could wash over. You're not going to look at him twice. I think that's so interesting that he would find it necessary to come out, because I feel like a lot of like
do you want to know why? Do you want to know why he did it?
Well, yeah, I feel like the cliche would be, I gotta protect my family, because like in Death of Superman, the remake, the one they did again, he was surprised that Flash had already told that he was getting married, and that I forgot her name, but that she knew that Iris. He was Iris, that he knew that she was the Flash. He was like, how'd she take, when you told her, like, how was he? Like, look, you got to tell him eventually, man. I know it's dangerous, but you got to let your loved ones know who you are.
I'll give you this. I'll give it up to Superman because he did it for a good reason, right? So what happened was a picture came out of Lois Lane kissing Superman because he just saved her again, because that's what their relationship is. And all of a sudden people started berating Lois for stepping out on her husband because everyone knew that she was married to Clark Kent. So he felt bad for like everything that she was getting. Plus they had this whole like justice do more, and he's like, the world deserves the truth. How can they trust us without the truth? And I'm like, everyone knows your line knows about who you are. We accepted that a long time ago.
Can I just stop? Can I just imagine the big dick energy that she walks in with the next day?
Yeah,
knowing with everybody knowing that her husband is the strongest thing this side of the galaxy has ever seen. In most of the known galaxy has ever seen.
As long as there's a sun. He is at least in the conversation.
Like, if he just sits in the sun for an elongated period it's not like the powers just leave him. If he just sits in the sun for like it just gets stronger.
As a regular dude, like the fact he'll eventually run out of power, that might be something we could bank on, but he's gonna kill me before he runs out of power.
Yeah, 100%. I'm always I think that's what people hate. It's like when you grow up and realize that the guy you thought was cool was really just a dick, and he didn't really have any direction in life. Like you grow up and Superman's this super badass, and he's Superman. You know, he's got the cape. He's red.
My entire life.
He does this. He's selfless. He wants everyone to succeed. And
I
you grow up,
this, man.
Yeah, you grow up and you
hate
kind of realize,
I
like,
hate
man,
it.
this guy's powers are so What do you mean he's as strong as he needs to be? What do you mean he can sit in the sun and be?
Superman comic books, I was like, there's no struggle here. He's just fighting. He's just hitting everything, and then everyone just there's no plot. You know, it's just
you can tell. You can tell even in like the Injustice games. What his combos are just punches. They're not like fighting. He's just throwing sluggers. He's throwing haymakers.
He has no idea how to fight. He hasn't been trained in
And I know like there's gonna be like some comic book people out there like, oh, you know, Superman's trained by, you know, Batman and Wonder Woman. It's like, yeah, no, how you can count on like both hands how many times Superman's lost his powers and needed to throw a human hand. It's very rare that somebody writes a story where Superman's like, oh God, the sun's leaving me. It's time to square the fuck up.
And that's the crazy thing, right? That like him losing his powers just means that he becomes human. But you notice every single time that there's a red sun, he loses his powers, he crumbles to the ground. He can't even be a standing human being.
Yeah.
He doesn't know how to human.
His bones hold up the average human, and he's ripped. Like Superman is ripped.
Yeah, he's like 6'5". He's a big guy.
He's the epitome of a stout, beautiful.
Yeah.
And every time he loses superness and becomes just a man, he just folds. He's like, oh God.
That's it. He crumbles into the ground fetal position.
I think he is less of a man when it comes to like just being a human. And I think it's because he's never been a human, at least outside of those instances where he gets robbed of his super.
You know what it is? I think he's just dramatic. Are you
going to tell him that to his face?
If I had some red sun with me or some fucking red kryptonite, yeah.
Yeah, everyone will be lining up for that.
He just folds. He's like, oh God, the people.
No, I mean, you know what? I think it's always been, and it's always, and I think it's funny because I hover on that being sort of into comics, but don't know enough to have those in-depth conversations. I know enough to tell regular casual people some things, but that's as far as it goes. I've always thought it was interesting that they have this crux. They have this item, this weapon that you can use against Superman. It's an absolute defense. He has no defense against. It's an absolute offense. It's completely.
I think that with all my comic book knowledge, if I was to wake up in the DC universe, you could give me 2 weeks and I could kill Superman.
Yeah, no, I
2 weeks. I'd put the Justice League in a coffin.
My problem with that is like his weaknesses are always Kryptonite's the only consistent weakness that he's always had, because even magic, like he's supposed to be weak against magic, but like
he's like punching through like Dr. Fate's fucking barriers.
Yeah,
isn't
like how is he not terrified of Shazam, whose entire
I'm gonna say, isn't Black Adam is like
any time he fights Shazam, it's like it irks my.
Yeah, I was gonna say
because it's like how doesn't Shazam just
how doesn't he just like Shazam and like he like just turns into nothing because it's magic, right? But that's the thing.
I was rereading the Kingdom Come, or like not the Kingdom Come, but I was rereading some old Superman comic books where him and Shazam lifted up the Book of Infinity. And I remember that. People know what the Book
I remember you telling me about that.
But it's the weight of everything in the universe. All right.
Yeah.
And I know that if the universe is ever expanding XYZ, but like to still lift up half of everything, which equals everything, that shit's fucking heavy, all right? And he didn't do it by himself. He did it with another man. How is Shazam losing to this guy on a consistent basis
when he has his weakness?
And then, like he's a hard counter.
Yeah.
Like I don't understand.
It's like if paper beat rock and the rock just busted through the paper. Like it's just the tears.
Shazam knows how to scrap, because on his regular day, Shazam's just this like 13-year-old foster kid who's constantly getting picked on.
Even if Billy Batson has lived a hard life. He's lived a harder life than all 34 of Superman's years. All right, he's lived a hard life. All right, Billy Batson out here scrapping.
Yeah, no, he's
rats in a alley.
He knows what it feels like to get his ass kicked, so he knows how to dish out an ass kick.
If he never found, Shazam never chose him to be a hero, and Jason Todd didn't decide to steal the tires off the Batmobile, I can see Billy Batson and Jason Todd in a gang together.
Absolutely.
Just like wreaking havoc around Gotham. Like
and together, like as a unit.
There's natural born fighters that just need a little polish.
Like, or
they'll be diamonds.
Like, why isn't Black Adam whipping Superman's ass?
Yeah, well, that was my see, that's when, because none of his this is what I meant when I said, like, you grow up and you kind of have those weaknesses, and you think it's fair. Growing up, you realize none of it matters. He supers past everything.
Oh yeah. Yes. Well, so what they do? Oh yes, here's Shazam. Here's Black Adam, right? Really, if they wanted to, like, they could make Black Adam OP as hell. But what they do, they nerfed him by making him king of conduct, and he's like, that's it. I don't leave. He's like Dr. Doom. So like, as long as you don't come to my area, that's it. You'll never hear from me.
Doesn't he kind of have like an agenda, and he just wants to?
Yeah, he wants to protect his country.
Yeah, that's it. He's done.
I was reading an issue. It was the Black Adam, like Doom, something like that, Doom War maybe, where he went he was fighting Santa, he went talk to this little girl. She's like, "Why are you?" He's like, "Why are you crying, child?"
Oh, like, that was this year's Christmas release. I read that. That was really good.
He's like, "Oh, it's because I miss my town. Miss Christmas. They gather around and give gifts." He's like, "Oh, so you want gifts?" It's like, no, I don't want gifts. I just want my family. He's like, no, it's gifts.
Sounds like you want gifts.
He's like, who gives out these gifts? Santa. And then the next issue, he's like some mega world or like Neptune or something like that. He knocks on the door. He's like breaking shit. Santa comes to the door. He's like, what the fuck is going on? He's like, you will bring gifts to Kahndaq every year. He's like, oh, you're not. I'm Santa. Like, you're not.
Yeah, that's what I do.
You're not about to tell me what to do. And then he just proceeds to whip Santa's ass. All right.
Yeah.
And it sounds like, all right, you got it. All right.
Yeah. No, you know what? And that's the type of man we need. All right. We need somebody who gets shit done.
Which is funny because if you just to segue into, not segue, but to diverge into it, if you take DC Santa versus Marvel Santa wins every time.
Oh, like, he's beyond Omega level mutant, apparently.
Yeah,
Marvel Santa.
So he's an official mutant.
Yeah.
Running around with the Infinity Gauntlet.
That's hilarious.
He's like,
wait. They made Santa a mutant. Oh, that's wonderful. It explains everything. You got to have an explanation for these things about how he's able to travel. Okay.
I forgot if it's. I think it's Dr. Doom, or no, it's Thanos. No, my fault. It's Darkseid. Every year, the DC Santa sneaks in Darkseid's castle or kingdom and then leaves him cold. And then every year he tries to shoot him down. He tries to kill this man every year. He never succeeded once.
I love that because I know the type of man Darkseid is. Just from watching him, he's no nonsense.
It's like three different Santa entities.
That's hilarious. That is hilarious.
There's a traditional one. There's this Saintus Nicholas or something like that. They're like Saintus Nicholas or something crazy. And there's like another one, just like the spirit of the winter. Some dumb shit.
That's hilarious.
But
that's funny.
Yeah, no, man, just
yeah. I mean, this is it though. This is the reason. It almost feels like overwhelming, really, to talk about it, and and like sometimes I know it sounds like crazy when somebody knows a bunch of something. Like when you're like, man, what do you even get? Like, how do you put all this information in your head and you keep it all in there and you're able to spit it out, verbatim, or when necessary. This is a lot. Like, you guys,
it's definitely like, a lot. And it definitely helps out to like like watch like other people explain, because you miss some shit too. Like, I was watching reading like Cosmic Ghost Rider the other day too, and it's just like, so why are you here? Why are you still here, dog? You're like story ended like 17 different storylines ago. What are you still doing?
Actually, I want to discuss that a little bit. I got a few minutes left before I got to get ready for bed. So, I do. Let's discuss this a little bit real quick.
Alright.
I feel like I get the whole nostalgic thing. I get the whole like, these are the characters that have been around forever and we need to respect these characters and all that. But I feel like after so many years, I'm ready for some new characters.
Kill 'em.
Like Tom King is an amazing writer. Bro, it's been over 80 years. Batman's still in his 30s. I don't understand that. Like,
Yes. It's like,
uh,
if you think about what's happening, like in every issue, this means that every single day, or sometimes 2, maybe 4 times a day, they're solving some like universe-ending threats. Like,
yeah.
So
Yeah.
question for the people who've watched Batman be 30 for 80 years. Not that any of us has been alive for that long. How would you feel? Just quick. How would you feel if Batman wasn't human? Like, what if they threw that out there? Well, he's not human. He's some type of.
Oh, I'd be pissed.
I would.
I'd be pissed. I really would be. I'm not gonna lie. I'd be pissed.
Yeah. I would be pissed, but I wouldn't be surprised.
Bastard sold us a lie.
No, I wouldn't be surprised. But I'd be pissed because that's like the whole point of Batman is that he's a dude.
I think Batman would lose. I think at that point Batman would get a gun.
But they're stretching it thin though. Come on, some of the stuff
Like
that's this guy
the
does.
fact that Batman is just a human dude is the only reason that I like. I don't hate him as much as I hate Superman.
Just the human
it's
dude.
The only, it's the only reason. He's just a
Just a
guy.
guy.
If Batman,
I mean, he's a rich guy,
no
but he's just a guy.
If Batman was no longer just a man, I'd be like, all right, now why are you here? Why be a part of this Justice League when you can go out and make a better Justice League?
Yeah, why? Yeah, no, that would.
Now I want you to tap into your superpowers.
Sorry to cut you off for things. You go ahead. You go ahead. Talk about what you wanted to talk about.
What I'm saying that's kind of my point, right? Where we're more likely to get a story about how they retcon Bruce Wayne's entire history to let us know he's not a human being than we are to get a new Batman.
Yeah. Honestly, don't even give us like make the Batman thing a legacy. Just be like, oh, we're the cult of the Bat, and then just have people like in it. Like, I'm tired of seeing.
He has one of the biggest.
Like, look, I'll give it up to Marvel. There's only been maybe 3 issues out so far of the J.J. Abrams Spider-Man story, and it's not wonderful. It's attention grabbing. I'll say that it's not so far. It's not like the most enthralling of stories.
That's the one where he's missing a hand, right?
Yeah. No offense to J.J. Abrams or anything. I think part of it has to do with the fact that it is a new take on the story, but the reason I keep reading it is because I truly and for sure appreciate what they're trying to do with this whole Peter Parker can no longer be Spider-Man, but here's his son going through his own struggles and figuring out oh shit, I guess I gotta be Spider-Man now, not even really wanting to be, but just kind of being forced into that position. And I kind of respect what they're doing with that because, like I said, it's a fresh new take and it's giving us a new generation of heroes as opposed to giving us another Peter Parker story. Like, hey, he's back in college. How many times is Peter Parker going to go to college? How many degrees does this man have?
How many times is he gonna go back to college? How many times are we gonna see Uncle Ben get blown away? Jesus Christ, man!
How many times are we gonna watch him save the world and then struggle to pay rent?
Yes,
seriously.
Peter Parker's biggest enemy, rent.
And that's awful too. Like some of these other superheroes are letting this man suffer. I mean, not now because he's a billionaire.
No, not anymore. Not anymore.
Parker Industries is gone.
Parker Industries is done. He's back in college.
No, I'm tired of it. No.
All right, listen. Matter of fact, let's talk about that because there's actually a lot going on there. But we should talk about that another time. I'm actually about to head to bed.
All right. Understand.
Let's end this out. But yeah, I guess we'll stay in touch tomorrow and figure out when we can record next.
Yeah, definitely.
Let's take a look at
I'll plug in the rest of the whatchamacallit real quick. So we're gonna be making a Discord channel soon. We have an Instagram, CBG's Comic Book Gangsters. We have a YouTube channel, Comic Book Gangsters. That's going up. We have an email. I'll probably be making a website or a forum for anybody who wants to get in contact with us or to talk to us. I'll be making a Facebook group or a Facebook page too. Just to have a lot of variables, a lot of options where people can get in contact us and really just build a community together and stuff like that. So yeah.
Abdul, when you get a chance, see if you can just turn this recording, because I know it's recording the video too, but see if you can just get the audio out of it.
Absolutely.
And let's just listen to it, see how we sound. Let's cut it up a little bit and then put some stuff out there.
All
All
right. Good seeing you, man. Good talking to you, Shaq.
right, yeah, man. You guys have a good night.
right.
You too, brother. All right.
All right.
Stop.
You well.